Crossroads. Find yourself stuck at that path. Whether I go left or whether I go right. Stuck in a circle. Yeah. Run around gun in my holster, chilling in the jungle like a poser, been through the war like a soldier. All this working nigga, now I'm getting closer. I'ma run up on your point blank shoulder. All the stress got a nigga looking older. Hit the dance cause the cats from the older. I'ma chase a picking down in my motor. Fucked on the drop and never been a voter. 3657 on the roster. So wavy nigga, you can need a floater. Deeper than the rap, I'm a composer. Got the weight of the world on my shoulder. If you lacking in the field, I can coach ya. Gang came blacked out like a vulture. Giuseppe's on my feet, cloth cobra. Stepped to the best on the chauffeur. Stepped in the club, I'm a culture. Wanna see my face on the poster. Keep the match and the cash in the sofa. Wait, roll heavy with no Jonah. Fuck around, nigga, you gon' need a donor. Keep your enemies closer. Roll up on your block, that's a closure. I'm about to put a nigga in the toaster. Portion of leather sitting in the roaster. Eating crabs and shams in the rover. I'ma live it up, nigga, till it's over. Every day a nigga praying to Jehovah. Big blunt, big bowl of canola. Looking cold, voice, Coca-Cola. But drinking definition of the roller. They be whipping up the work with a soda. Controlling all the herd like Noah. Wouldn't wanna see another murder. So every nigga should've been a surfer. When you coming from the block, you need nurture. Nobody out here trying to be a worker. Bring the beef to your mouth like a burger. I be climbing in your house like a burglar. Known to be the one to take it further. More connections than a Wi-Fi surfer. Be running for your block with a burner. Grinding around the clock on my earn up. Tape when the curd hit the herd up. Hoping that these niggas might learn up. Connect on the phone, sound nervous. So many plugs run for the service. Now it's all coming to the surface. My life's been hotter than a furnace. Bond Street shopping was the purchase. Back to leave you lane with the nurses. Had to put it down.
So my name is Dr. Simon Harding. I'm an Associate Professor at University of West London. We're here filming UK Teen Trappers 2. Looking today at how and why violence has increased across London and the South East, what lies behind it, what it means to be on road, what it means to be running a county line, how and why violence surrounds that lifestyle. So come with me, we'll take a look. So, Dr. Simon Harding here, looking at Teen Trappers Part 2. I'm here with Bookie. Bookie is an ex-drug lord who's been seriously involved in the road life. Lost his wife to road life, and I'm here to ask him some questions. So tell me, what does it mean to be on road?
Survival, man. Like, straight survival, man. Like, from time someone's gonna take someone else's life for something you did, there ain't nothing to live for, man. You might just go out there making money. It's what it is, man. Like, life for life.
How did you get involved in this?
Young age, man. One of the elders had me getting a bit of change, made my own money. It was quick money, man. Tried to get a 9 to 5, it weren't the same, man. It weren't the same. It was not the same, I tell you. The money I was working in a month, I was getting overnight. Waking up in the morning, didn't even need to make money until the afternoon to get it. Like, it's easy life, you know what I'm saying? But when you're out there, you can still do what you want to do. You don't need, you're not locked down or held down to one thing. Do what you want to do.
And what does it mean to be involved in trapping?
Well, you get the money in it, man. Is push them packs for you. You gotta push them packs. Push them packs, you get your money back. You know what I'm saying? Once you get your money back, you get your team, you get your empire, you get your respect, you get what everyone's dreamed of, you'll get. Just from simply pushing packs.
Okay, and is it brown or is it white?
You could go anywhere. You could go brown, you could go white, you could go coke, you could go weed, you could, whatever you, as long as you're dedicated to what you do and make your money, you'll get your money.
And how do you find the youngers to do this for you?
Most of the time they're willing anyway, man. They see what you have and they're looking at you all the time, man. You tell them come in, they want in, man. Like, it's not really nothing, man.
Okay, so they approach you?
Most of the time, yeah, man. If not, you could just a little conversation most of the time. It's a conversation. From a conversation, give them one little pat, then they come back and they're going to ask for more most of the time.
Right. Okay, so what are some of the consequences of getting into road life?
Well, I'll give you both sides. Like, man's did certain things to people. Man's gone to try and take my kids from school. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's not all roses, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have died over the stupidest shit, £20, £30, £100, boy, people's houses are getting burnt down with people's families, you feel me? Like, it is what it is, man. You can't really have morals. Morals ain't on road. Like, it's a negative, bro.
And have you had to get involved in violence yourself?
Oh, yeah, of course, man, all the time, man.
And what kind of stuff?
All the time. Man, it's gone from tying people up, kidnapping, It's gone from trying to get man's kids from their house to their schools. It is what it is, man. You got to get them, man. You got to get them. Some people want to hide. If people are hiding, what else are you going to do?
And are you doing this to protect your line?
Of course it is. It's all about the line, man. It's all about the line. Without the line, what else is there? I can't go to the government to help, can I?
And how bad is the violence getting now?
Depends on what's the scale you're on, man. Like, violence to us is just life. You know what I'm saying? It's life, man. Like, for someone to get stabbed up, it's an everyday thing, man. Like, for ordinary man, it's a shock. But for us, it's someone got stabbed.
And what about the feds? I mean, where do they come into
Oh,
this?
fuck them, man. They're just as bad as us. Let's be real, man. They're just as bad as us, man. Like, the first time that I got a strap was from a Fed. The first brick that I bought was from a Fed. Like, they're just as bad as us, man. They're corrupted. They're just as corrupted as us, but they want to stand by their uniform and use that uniform as power and authority. But we're not having it no more. We have our own authority. You know, understand that we have all understood that the government nowadays, they want to impact on us to hold us back from what we want to do, but at the same time, they don't want to help us. So we know they're civil servants, which means they're meant to do as we say or help us. They don't want to do that, so cool. We will end up being a war.
And how bad do you think it's going to get? Do you think it's going to get any better?
Get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse, man. Before it gets better, it's going to have to get a lot worse because no one's listening. So before it gets better, it's going to get a lot worse.
And what can be done to improve it or change things?
Well, let's see. We could start from the actual police system helping communities, social workers and things like that, actually helping communities. I know hundreds of people, because they've got lines and they're doing whatever they're doing to make their money, they've been stopped from seeing their kids. That will destroy a man mentally. So his mentality on road now has gone 10 times worse because he has nothing to live for now because he's been stopped from seeing his kids, his missus or whatever. You get me? Then his brethren's going to die. What do you think is going to happen then? You know what I'm saying? He's going to get worse. So he's going to protect his line because that's all he has. His line becomes his child. You understand? Like, man will die over money. Once you're affecting my line, if my line stops ringing, if my line rings out 1,000 times in one day and it goes down to 100 times in a day, and someone who's moved on the block, no, you got to go pay him a visit.
And what would a visit mean?
Ooh, it depends. It depends. We could light it up. We could run up in there. We could run straight up in there, start taking heads off. We could take lives. Or we could run up in there and try to come to a reasonable force and try to come to an agreement which certain people want to call taxing me. I just call it extorting niggas, fuck it. You get me? It all depends, man. Depending on what mood I'm in. If I got people around me, we'll all roll out together and make a day of it. If not, I might just go there on a reckless thing. And if I go there reckless, there is no talk.
Okay, and how much money are you actually making per week in this?
It varies. I could go, if I'm locally in my hood, man can still eat nice, but you see when you go country, that's where it comes in. Big money's in country, 30, 40 bags, couple of days. Get me? In the hood, probably making 10, 15, still not doing too bad, you know what I'm saying? But go country, you can rake it in days. Talking weeks, months, I know a couple, you know.
And do you employ other people to run your line, help run your line for you?
Only ones that you can trust, man. Not everyone's trustworthy, man. Certain times, no one's about, you have to take a break. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if I give you my line and you mess about, your life. It's straight like there's no coming to a reasonable, like, if I give you the line, your life is...
So UK Teen Trappers Part 2. Just heard there from Bookie. What's interesting in his story is the length of time he's been involved, but also the level of violence that he needs to bring to order and make sure that his line is still his line and is not taken over by somebody else. So we see here a very violent world, a world where people are brought into this sometimes through conversation and favours, but once they're in, they find it extremely difficult to get out. And the level of violence on a day-to-day basis is continual. So UK Teen Trappers Part 2. I'm here now with Fella. Fella's been on road for a number of years, background of violence and crime. So tell me, what's it like being on road?
Well, it depends where you get yourself involved from. Like me, I was in foster homes from the age of 2.5 months. So I didn't really begin a relationship with anyone. So I didn't really have no feelings towards anybody. So I just found the roads, like, you can just make things happen. You can get shit by any means. You can get what you want.
What kind of things? Do you mean drugs?
yeah, whether it's selling drugs, whether it's doing kidnapping, robberies, anything, robbing other dealers, wherever it is, if you've got something that I want, and I'm going to come and take it.
And how old were you when you got involved in that?
I started getting involved about 14. By the time I was 15, I was serving 4 years.
In prison?
Yeah.
For violence?
Yeah, for GBH.
Right, okay. And what about your current position? Are you still involved actively?
Certain things still have to be done. But I'm involved in a lot of things.
And what about violence? Do you have to bring the violence sometimes?
Yeah, of course, it's a two-way street. Like, wherever I'm dishing out, I expect it to come back to me. But to be fair, the life that we live, I really don't give a fuck.
Are you happy with that life?
Well, it's the only life I know. And it's the life I'm going to keep on living. Until I get a free pass out of it, I've got to survive.
Does it feel safe?
No, it never feels safe, but that's why you have people, you know, you carry what you need to carry.
Do you carry weapons?
None to. No.
Use them?
Yeah.
Done people some damage?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of damage. I'm 27, I've done 7 years in prison. That's for what I've been caught. So, yes.
And do you think you're going to keep on with this life or try and move out of it?
Well, eventually, when the money's high enough, then eventually, yeah, I'll probably get out. But right now, I see this as a long-term future.
Do you think there's any way out?
Probably dead or life in prison.
Thank you. UK Teen Trappers Part 2. So I've been talking there with Fella. Fella tells me he's been passed from one foster mum to another all his life. In fact, 21 separate foster mums. Didn't connect with anybody, found a connection on the street, but also a disconnection. Tells me he's lived a life of violence, served time in prison, and the violence feels for him like a constant circle. Something I think he's going to find it very difficult to break out of. And that's one of the challenges here, that in the spectrum of somebody's life, you see how it can start from being in care and fostering all the way through to I don't care, I don't give a shit life. And it's very difficult to break out of that. As we know, weapons are a major part of county lines. They're needed to threaten, to bring violence and to keep control. Knives, machetes and guns. I'm off now to speak to somebody who's a major county lines drug dealer and talk about his involvement with weapons and drugs. Let's take a look.
It's clear to see that this is a life that once you're in, it's very hard to get out of.
I'm now going to meet two guys, Cash and Shells, who are seriously involved in county lines, have been for some time, trapping drugs and using weapons. Let's see what they have to say. UK Teen Trappers Part 2. I'm here now with Shells and Cash, two young men who are seriously involved in running county lines, trapping and weapons. Let's hear what they have to say. So, Shells, tell me, why the body armour?
Why do you think, look?
Are you frightened of somebody?
That's protection, innit?
Somebody coming for you?
Sometimes I understand. Sometimes it comes from them, but more time coming from niggas from them, or terror from. Understand? I'm the one that does the lurking from. I'm the one that does the fucking hunting out here. Understand what I'm saying? It's just safety measures. You understand? Safety precautions.
And safety from whom?
From ops, enemies, pagans. You understand?
Foods.
So, these are rival people with a different drug line, or what?
It can be like it's man that could be trying to take man's dough, trying to take man's food, trying to rob man's workers. You understand? So we don't deal with hands. You understand? So what I deal with requires bulletproof vests. Understand?
Okay. And how do you react to this kind of street violence on road?
Well, it's my part of the lifestyle. It's part of the game, isn't it? obviously man's trapped, man's in the system, man. I want to live how man's living, you get me? But man's in a cycle where violence is the means of communication. Man don't hear talk, fam. Man's done. Man hear violence, fam.
Kill or be killed.
The dog eat dog world, fam.
And Cash, same for you. You've been in this world now for some time. Do you find it violent?
Yeah. The roads are mad out there, mate. Like you can get stabbed, you can get killed over a £10 note out here.
Is this a violent world?
Yeah. It's a real world out here, you know. You only got one life, but whatever it is, if you can't do this road thing, or if you're trying to do this road thing and you don't do it right, mate, you're fucked. You're better off going to McDonald's, getting a job and doing your thing. You understand? Not coming on the road trying to shot and get. You understand?
It don't make sense, bro.
There's bare pagans out here, bro. There's feds. There's enemies. You understand? So you gotta watch out for all of them. You understand? On top of that, there's snakes. Your own people that will snake you. You understand?
And Shells, have you had to bring the violence sometimes?
Well, every day, I talk to niggas' children's school, fam. Yeah, I don't play that game, bro. Yeah, I'm coming to where the kids go to school, fam, for my bread. Understand what I'm saying? I'm coming to where niggas live. Their residents where their families are, fam. They fuck about my peas, cause I don't play those games, cause I'm putting work on niggas for my door.
Hey, son.
This ain't for show. You think this is for show? You think I'm telling you this for show, fam?
Real life shit.
It's real life shit, fam. Man out here making dough from this thing, bro. Yeah, there's no other fucking. Oh, this ain't for show. This ain't some made up fucking thing that I'm telling you, bro. This is some real shit that I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, we're out here struggling, so we gotta make sure that we're making sure that our family's fed. My priority is making sure my family's fed.
And how much money are you making from this wife each week?
Boy, it's about fucking 30, 40 bags. Yeah? There's a team of 8. There's about 30, 40 bags we're bringing in.
And what would a bag bring in terms of cash?
Grand from.
Okay.
Man's making 30, 40 a week. Yeah? From what man's doing, innit? So we'll leave that to go where, fam? To do what? To work where, fam?
But your wife must be permanently worried about people who are going to come
Comes
for
with the
you.
game. It's the lifestyle. This shit comes with it. So if you want to be on this team, then this comes with it, innit? You have to be part of what it is and deal with the consequences.
And if action's got a reaction, mate.
And if somebody couldn't get you and they came for your family, what action would you take then?
Smoke their whole
Man,
family.
ain't coming from my family, fam. I want to show you later on why man ain't coming from my family, because we send strong messages. And I want to show you later on why niggas ain't coming from man's family. Because niggas too scared to come from man's family.
We ain't playing games.
So it's real.
It's real
real.
life.
Of course it's real. This is a joke. This is real life, bro. This is the ghetto, bro. This is
We've
the
got
world,
one
bro.
life, mate. Don't
This is
gamble
streets.
with it.
This is what it is.
Ilford, Illy T,
You know what I'm saying? I'm from Peckham, get me?
Triple OG.
Yeah, and I network with niggas all over. Like I said, it's a team of man. It's not just one man. Yeah, you got bare youths working for man. We got bare youths. You understand? It's not a dope thing. Man's out here getting dope. I'm not playing games out here.
Bread.
From the south of the river to the east of the river. You understand what I'm saying?
Bread.
No fucking money. Yeah, I don't want to glamorize this shit, but this is what it is. Niggas are trapped. Niggas are lost. And this is all man knows.
And do you think you'll ever get out of this road life?
Well, this road life thing, it's fucked that it's set up, man, because it's a bit of a trap. Once you're in it, you can't really come out of it. And when you come out of it, you don't want to let your family down. You understand? Your little team, your little gang. You don't want to let them down. You understand? So you'll be loyal to everyone.
Loyalty is key.
And we make money same way. But same speed, if there's a pagan or whatever, we have to beat that.
Same with that.
Shells, would you come out of this life if you could?
Of course I would, man. Of course I would, cuz. But the truth is, man's gonna come up to all where? To do what? Got one walk to do what? It's all I know, fam. Man's a trapper, fam. Man's an OG fucking
drill blood, you understand what I'm saying? I burnt myself, I put work in. Now I'm getting the rewards. And that comes with consequences. These youths are not understanding the consequences. They're hearing this fucking music and they're watching these films and they're getting gassed thinking that they're trappers and thinking that
they're bad boys.
You understand?
Gunshot them pussies.
Straight.
You understand?
Straight up. Okay?
I understand. Thank you very much.
Yeah, lads. So Dr. Simon had just gone home, has some things to do, and I've decided to stay behind because these guys said they got something to show us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? All you pagans out there, all you pussies that think you can try to lean on man for man's bread and that, you know what? Man's got something for you, man. Yeah? Hey, shows. I break it down for them, man, there. 16, Gigi. Man's got that for you. 16s. Yeah, not no hunting. 16s. Don't fuck with man. Yeah, yeah. Man's not out here to play games. It's 2018 gunshot every blood club playing. Smoking season.
Yeah, for my fucking bread and my thing, like my land.
Yeah,
killing niggas, fam.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that guns and drugs go hand in hand. How would you say that guns affect your life?
Well, like my nigga said, I've got to have my stick on me everywhere I go. But you see what? The stick's so big, so I make the gal carry it. Yeah. Big Louis Vuitton bag, you don't even know what's coming, fam. Yeah. Tutus, you know, bare gunshots getting licked. Yeah. Come on, we're not playing games. We're not out here to play. It's fucking real life shit. It's a doggy dog world, cuz.
Be killed.
You get it? Yeah, there's people out here grinding 9 to 5, and there's man out here, like man, making 30, 40 bags a month.
Oh.
Come on, my guy.
Oh, shit.
Come on, my guy.
Man
don't even need to slap something on your head. Man will just slap the 16 on you. Yeah?
Yeah. Turn the car over,
big
man.
dog. Yeah?
Don't fucking play games, man. You don't think that there's routines for everyone. Stay off the routines, man. Get caught with shells in your face, man.
Come on.
Okay, and do you have any friends or family that have been affected by gun violence?
Yeah.
What bare nigga going from?
My family, Mark Duggan, my brother from another mother, yeah. Mark Duggan, real fucking brother, real family,
real G.
Yeah. His pussies. Look what they done. Licked him down. Pussies.
Fuck
yeah. Yeah.
Where's the justice in that? There's a fucking justice in that, blood.
Where's the justice?
They're gonna stay strapped like the police are staying strapped. Yeah?
Come on, fam.
Police are killing niggas, so we're staying strapped, protected. I ain't going back to no jail, fam.
Big 16s. Big 16s.
Yeah, it's a no prison.
Man, don't wear no vest out here.
My team wants to lose now, blood.
Yeah?
Shit. Could you just name some of the weapons that are available to you at this time?
I've got Max there,
16s,
rifles, grenades, hand pistols, pecs, Desert Eagles, 4.5s, 38 specials, 9mm. I say, cuzzy, I've got a hell of things, fam. It's not a
Man's
joke.
even got pineapple to throw at your blood clot. You understand?
Yeah, it needs a joke, cuzzy.
You got one life, fam.
Silencers on all of them, cuz.
Don't gamble with it. Real nigga shit, triple OG.
It's shut down at you.
Okay, thank you, lads, for that insight.
Gunshot.
I'm fucking play games, blood.
GG.
I'm fuck about.
GG.
Stay off the roads, blood.
Alright, people see me.
I'm standing.
Alright, GG.
Don't want niggas letting me in your neck.
So, Teen Trappers Part 2. What we saw there were two guys who are very seriously involved in trapping, county lines, violence and weapons. So involved to the extent that they find difficulty in trusting anybody. They have to wear a stab vest, they have to go protected, and they have to be constantly on point in case somebody's coming for them. Issues of trust are very, very important. But the circle of violence is key, and you could see from what they were saying that violence circulates around them. They're in it, it comes to them, they give it back. It's a constant to and fro. Difficult world.
My life's been hotter than a furnace. Bond Street shopping was the purchase. Back to leave you lane with the nurses. Had to put it down to the urges. Heard this voice that you're killing all the verses. Money making always been a purpose. No workers that were working for the workers. Catch a nigga whipping in the German. Back to leave your lane with a surgeon. It's always different when we see them in person. Spitting like I read it from a sermon. Back to rapping nigga like a
Trappers
turban.
Part 2. So I'm here with Stats and Rage, both of whom have been involved in trapping, running county lines. I'm going to ask them how they got involved in that life and what do they have to do to get out of it. So Stats, tell me, how old were you when you got involved and what did it mean to get involved in trapping?
Yeah, I was about 16. Obviously, when I started out trapping, I just wanted to be like the oldest, innit? I wanted to get his peas because I was hungry from young. And I never had shit. I tried those, trying to get a job and that shit ain't gonna get you nowhere. Because people judge you by the way you look. If you're wearing a tracksuit or whatever, that's how people perceive you.
And Rage, how about you?
Just started from early still. Just seeing all of them do their thing. Just went on, we started, that's what I'm trying to say. To get your line booming. It was mad because everyone's in the same thing. They're all trying to get out. Just got to work and grind still.
Did you make much money from that age of 16 or did that come later?
It was alright, It was alright in the beginning and then it gets better.
And what about violence? Did you find violence in this lifestyle quite early on?
It's mostly dickhead use. When you go past, you could start over just, a wrong look. But apart from that, I was just about making money. But obviously, if you get these, those dickheads that want to say something, then, we ain't afraid to take it wherever it goes.
And were you shotting brown and white, or how did you mix it up?
Strictly cannabis. Cannabis, hash, and some class A.
And some Class A, okay. And in terms of where you are now, are you looking to stay in this life or are you wanting to get out of it?
I think soon get out.
Why is that? What's made you decide to move on and get out of it?
Just live with paranoid. It's not how you want to live. It's not a lifestyle to live. It's not what people make out to be on YouTube and that's why you get this low use. You see these these glamorous lifestyles and that. They think, oh, this is how it is, but it's nothing like you see. So obviously you can't live this for long. But
Cash, do you find it stressful in this life?
It can be, but you got to do what you have to do, you know what I'm trying to say? You got to work it out. There's a lot of people that are trying to compete with you. So it will get a bit political in some places at sometimes. Just got to keep doing what you do.
And how do you stay on top if people are trying to take over?
they know not to take over, but if they try to take over, then obviously it has to get sticky, isn't it? I'm gonna sit here. You have to retaliate, and it comes whatever price. It always comes at a different extent. One time maybe they run off. The next time someone could be ending up dead, stabbed, because you get these days you get a lot of young youths that you see they'll carry shanks and that, and when you got adrenaline and everything, they're not thinking about what they're doing. Not to obviously me, but I'm saying to other youngers, because that's who is going on mostly between. I saw we're about making money.
So what do you have to do to get out of this life?
It's all about in your head, and there's always a different extent to everyone. So personally, obviously, what my thing is like I was saying before, I need to get enough money to go ahead and start a business. But for me to find another way to get out, the government need to make it easier for me to get into university, get a job. If you want me to live this lifestyle, I have to have a second option. But they're not making life easy.
And
So I think reinvestments in whatever needs to be, so people, younger people, under 20, under 25, can get easily employed.
And Cash, what would you say to some younger who's coming up thinking they can get involved in trapping and just live that life? What would you say to them?
I would say it's not the good way. Trust me, just stay in education, do your thing, because it's not easy out here. You see all these glamorous things, it's not all about that. Trust me.
You sound both a little bit regretful that you've got into this life. Would you say that that's correct, or do you regret getting into this?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, you have your times. You have your times when it pays.
What message would you give now to a younger who's coming up about the trapping lifestyle and how to get out of it?
I tell them just stay in education, do your thing, just don't come out here like it's not something nice you're gonna think about. Just stick to education, get that out of the way, and don't think about trapping because you're gonna end up in jail. Your family's gonna feel so sorry for you. Just think what you do before you do something silly. Just stay to education, trust me.
Do you think it's been worth it?
In some ways it has, but you just gotta do what you gotta do.
And how do you think it's going to end for you?
You never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, anything could happen, man. You could get stabbed, you could get shot. You know, if man them try to come in your hands and that. Even like I was saying before, it could come down to a wrong look over anything. You could get stabbed, you could get shot. So you never know.
Thanks, guys. So you can see from what we heard from both Stacks and from Cash is that you can get involved in this trapping lifestyle from a very young age. And when you do, it can become difficult to get out of it at the other end. The message, of course, to youngers is prophetic, which is it's really not worth it. You're better off staying in education and trying to get a job, because ultimately the damage can come to you, to your family, to your career, to your life. So in UK Teen Trappers, we saw the impact of trapping, county lines and the drug lifestyle on families, on mothers, and the impact on young people. In Teen Trappers Part 2, we've gone a bit deeper. We've dived into how the game is really played out in the streets. We've looked at the weapons involved. We've looked at the impact on young people. And we've looked at how difficult it is to get out of this highly addictive, highly adhesive lifestyle. Once in it, it's very difficult to come out of it. Sometimes young people refer to it as being the gang game. It's very addictive. And for some young people, it's the only game in town. And for some young people, it's the only game they know. So what are some of the solutions here? We've heard from people saying education is key, links into family, supporting broken families. Reducing cuts to youth services perhaps, greater investment in local areas, and more opportunities for young people. All of these things have come up, voiced by the young people themselves. This is not just politicking from central government. These are issues that young people feel, and feel deeply down on the street. So there are solutions to these things. We just have to find them, we just have to fund them, and we just have to put them in practice. So the question is, how long is this game going to continue? How long are young people going to continue being involved, trapping, drugs, shotting drugs, and running county lines? Is London going to overtake New York? Indeed, the cycle of violence we're seeing now, is that going to continue? Is it going to get worse? We may have to cover some of these points in Teen Trappers Part 3. See you then.
The problem's much deeper than candy rats. Much deeper. Drugs, violence, guns, just part of everyday life. And girls. Shoulder. If you lacking in the field, I can coach her. Game black tight like a vulture. Giuseppe's on my feet, cloth cobra. Stepped to the bench, I'm a chauffeur. Stepped in the club, I'm a culture. Wanna see my face on the poster. Keep the match and the cash in the sofa. Wait, roll heavy with a no Jonah. Fuck around, nigga, you gon' need a donor. Keep your enemies closer. Roll up on your block, that's a closure. I'm about to put a nigga in the toaster. Portion of leather sitting in the roaster. Eating crabs, sipping shams in the Rover. I'ma live it up, nigga, till it's over. Every day a nigga praying to Jehovah. Big blunt, big bowl of canola. Looking cold, voice, call a cola. But drinking the finessing off the roller. They be whipping up the work with a shoulder, controlling all the herd like Noah. Wouldn't wanna see another murder, so every nigga should have been a surfer. When you coming from the block, you need nurture. Nobody out here trying to be a worker. Bring the beef to your mouth like a burger. I be climbing in your house like a burglar. Known to be the one to take it further. More connections than a Wi-Fi surfer. Be running for your block with a burner. Grinding around the clock, got my earn up. Tape when the curd hit the herd up. Hoping that these niggas might learn up. Connect on the phone, sound nervous. So many plugs run for the service. Now it's all coming to the surface. My life's been hotter than a furnace. Bond Street shopping was the purchase. Back to leave you lane with the nurses. Had to put it down to the urges. Heard this voice that you're killing all the verses. Money making always been a purpose. No workers that were working for the workers. Catch a nigga whipping in the German. Back to leave your name with a surgeon. It's always different when we see them in person. Spitting like a reader from a sermon. Back to rapping nigga like a turban. To see another day ain't certain. Shooting at the cars, all swerving. I was on the block, don't serving. Why them niggas selling like they slurring? You went in the band, don't stirring. Feds kick doors, start searching. New whip, have a nigga head turning. Never asked the dealer what you yearning. All my cars coming out burning. That ain't gold, nigga looking like he's sterling.
Tell people to get out of the heroin, it's not safe. Because like that's what dealers do. Shot the white of the heroin, and yeah, I've basically been smoking white for like 20 years now. I'm 32, so I started when I was like 12, and you just got to control the drug because it's not legal. So people stop messing around with you because they're trying to say you got the police. Stay smart and follow God, and He'll take you to a right path. Yeah. Done it, my G. Done it. No change, G. Alright, getting off drugs is not easy. I suggest if you want to get off drugs, get some nicotine patch. When you get your benefit money, like 300-400, and stop smoking for about 2 months, and you should get off it. And like basically the gear, it's nice, yeah, but it's not forever, and it messes up with like your business and your personal life. So I suggest if you really want to stop and help your family, then you should go to rehab and get medication for it. Yeah. Alright. Love you.
TR got the sauce, bitch.